Welcome to Policy and Profit, the podcast for ambitious insurance agents and agency owners who want to build predictable, profitable businesses without chasing bad leads or begging for referrals. And let me be brutally honest for a second. Most agency owners aren't building a team, they're babysitting one. They spend their days chasing flaky prospects, repeating the same recruiting pitch 5 times a week like a parrot, only to have no-shows, ghosters, and broke dreamers drain their time and siphon their energy like time vampires. And worst of all, their personal production suffers, and they start resenting the team that they tried so hard to build. And if that's you, you're not lazy. You're just trying to scale using effort rather than systems. That's why I built the Autopilot Recruiter, a done-for-you system that helps you attract qualified agents, pre-sell them with your story, and get them onboarded without doing another live Zoom, sales pitch, or three-way call ever again. It's the same system top recruiters are using to grow massive downlines in the 100s without sacrificing their commissions, their time, or their sanity. If you're ready to build a team that actually grows itself, go to writemorepolicies.com/playbook and download the free playbook today. Today's guest is a very near and dear friend of mine, Chase McAllister, the Call Your Damn Leads guy. Generates thousands of inbound calls per day and has helped many agencies scale to seven figures and dominate social media, collecting millions of views per month. So, with that being said, Chase, welcome to the show. Tell me something you believe is the key to succeeding in insurance sales that most agents completely overlook.
Yeah, it's really, it comes down to not really marketing. I know it sounds crazy that the marketing guy would say it's not down to marketing. It's the systems that you put in place after, and the sales process. You guys say process, I say process as I'm Canadian. When you spell it out, it does say process, but it's the back end. It's the predictability in which every single person that comes to you and gets in your pipeline goes through the same exact process. And instead of looking for the new shiny lead, the next awesome marketing, the next awesome lead vendor and the best leads you can buy, focus on a robust system so it doesn't matter about the marketing. There is predictable. And it's like, even with our lead company, we basically require people to use our script for our inbound calls. They have to come to our coaching. They have to go through a rigorous onboarding course just to be able to take our calls. Some people get pissed off. Some people actually say, no, I'm not going to buy from you because I want to do my own thing. And that's fine. Go and find somebody that'll just send you some leads and throw you to the wolves. That's not what we're about. We have a robust system that we've curated over 5.5, 6 years that works predictably. And I know it works. And so I can sell you a lead, but if you don't have a system where every time you talk to somebody, they're going down the same road, well, your results are going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And that was probably the hardest part, is like, anybody can create an ad, anybody can create an inbound call. It's not rocket science. The hard part is finding a system that's predictable over time, that agents can scale to, but also as an insurance agent, you can start to build a team to as well. That's, I guess, the biggest component that I think a lot of agencies and agents overlook is the back end. They're always trying to find the next new marketing, the next shiny object, instead of just focusing on the harder part, which is making sure your scripts are dialed in, making sure that the back end of those deals are being followed up with, and cleaning your damn CRM and going through those dusty spreadsheets and finding ways to be able to capitalize on their pipeline.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with that for the most part. That's really good. I'm all about, how do I get marketing to correspond and kind of talk to sales? How can I take someone who has no clue who the hell I am, walk them through the awareness bridge and all this stuff that I have to take a customer through? It's like, on average, I know all of my customers spend 8 hours with me on YouTube before they give me over $3,000. And so once I know that, my whole process, in your words, is engineered towards getting consumption to 8 hours to build know, like, and trust. Like, that's my process. I'm rigorous with that. I know that from the bottom of my heart. I know my numbers. I know it takes me a little bit under $200 to acquire those customers. Like, I know my numbers when it comes to that. And so many agents just run their business by the sheet of their pants, or by their upline's cute and clever catchphrases that they got from their upline, who got it from their upline, who's never even sold more than 10 policies in a year, let alone a month. And so
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you're kind of talking about this, because if you do not have a repeatable process, and I'm not saying you have to say the same thing to everybody, you and I probably have some uh, disagreements on that. I cannot stand following my own script, but it's only because I've read from enough scripts to understand the flow of the conversation. And
Yeah.
I understand that most agents don't have that yet. So listen to what Chase is saying. If you're below like 20,000 a month in commissions, I don't give a shit what you write. I don't care what you issue. I care about what hits your bank and how much you
Yeah.
keep of it after 9 months after chargebacks are paid out, because that's what really matters. So
Yeah.
the, I'm really glad. What do you think the most important part of the process is? Is it just the repeatability that every person comes in and hears the same type of marketing? It's not, we're going to talk to this person this way and this person this way, or like, what do you think that is?
Yeah, I think the biggest component is making sure that ultimately the the belief shift is happening on an emotional level, especially in life insurance, and and taking your time in the beginning before you're getting to quotes, really in that sales process, like if on a specific with the
Yeah.
conversation itself, um, and forcing yourself to make sure that those questions are getting asked so that your persistency is up. Important. I would say one, it's going to be getting the emotional belief shift, but then also the retention aspect of it. Are you actually following up with the people you did sell, um, and getting referrals and getting those things? I think this obviously the most important piece. If you're scaling an agency, I mean I started my agency last year, an LOA shop, which is more of a career model, and when you're scaling an agency, it's having systems in place where the agent can log in every day and have predictable conversations without having to go out, door knock, go out and do all these things and force them to go out. Having a system where they can just log in every single day and have conversations and have the ability for trainers that can give them course correction is huge, because you'll have an agent that comes in and crushes it for 2 months straight and then has a bad month and starts blaming everything else. But in reality, he changed a portion of the script, or he started doing one thing that's screwing up his conversion. And so you need to have course correction as well. But I don't think there's any one most important piece of it. I think combining it all together and making it predictable is the most important piece. But you can't do that until you have just amount of the massive data set of phone calls that this script has been split tested on. It's not like we just are shooting about the hip of our pants and throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall. It's split tested over time, and it's not something you're going to just be able to create in a week, in a month, in 6 months, in a year. It's going to take time to really start to harness those things out. But combined together, it all has to work.
You mentioned something really good about the emotional belief shift and kind of that, I call it the flip over. And it's all based on Eugene Schwartz awareness levels, the five market awareness levels. And I wish more agents read that book, Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. A copy is going to run you about $800 if you go get it from the internet. Uh, but he walks people through the awareness bridge and how to match the market where they're at. You're not going to bring a well done steak to someone who asked it for rare. And that's what a lot of agents do. They're talking to people who don't care about life insurance, saying, if you don't buy this, you hate your family, and they're going to get a GoFundMe. And then if you listen to their sales call recordings, it's not even really a sales call. Or maybe that's really all it is a sales call. You're calling like, hey, oh, you requested insurance. Yeah, so we have this policy for this much. Do you want it? And the customer's like, confused unga bunga, like, who is this turd burglar I'm talking to, and why are they already asking me for money? They didn't even ask me how my day was or any, like, how dare you try to kiss me on the first, how dare you try to get me to do that on the first date for you? I don't even know you. So I'm glad you're
Yeah.
bringing that up, because if you go listen to any of, there's a sales call I did on YouTube and people completely missed a point. They're saying, oh, you overcame the objections. You did. It's like, why did you not listen to the 90% of shit that I did before that to set the frames and do it? It baffles me because they don't want to have hard conversations and address the real elephant in the room of, here's why you should trust me. Here's why you should choose to do business with
Yeah.
me over not doing anything. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. For those of you out there, listen, we have this shit dialed in. Chasing our experts. We are authorities in this field. I don't care what anyone else says. Go, go, come debate us on this. We'll do a fucking panel. I
Yeah,
don't
for
care.
sure.
So,
Any day.
uh,
And you know what the thing is I the nice part, we have our lead company, right? And these are inbound calls. So all the calls are recorded and we listen to them. We do reviews. Our quality control team does reviews. And we actually have executive meetings where we pull calls of like, here's where agents really struggle. How do we help train them? Because for me, as the even on the marketing agency, not even just our insurance agency, we make money when they keep coming back and spending more money, right? It's not just like, hey, here's a lead order and fuck off. Excuse my French. I can swear on here.
You're good. You can say whatever you want on here.
But we need to review those calls. And where these guys typically struggle or where they mistake is they're going in the first 2 minutes, what's your height and weight? You're going straight into a quote and hopefully not getting an objection. So you're basically saying, okay, I'm going to take as many calls as I possibly can, throw as much Hail Mary to a quote and price point, and then hopefully overcome objections. Where the guys that like even our script, it's basically 15 to 20 minutes before you even get to a quote, and you're just literally talking about whys and needs. And one of the questions I ask in our trading calls that we do every day is I'll ask, name 3 things about the prospect that have nothing to do with their health, nothing to do with their finances, nothing to do with the quote that they bring. Just name me 3 things about them. If you can't do that, you're not spending enough time before you're getting into the business. And like, take your time. There's a reason why they're on the call. And everybody has 30 some odd carriers, or if they're captive, they have 1 carrier. But everybody has a quoting tool. Everybody can go, hey, I'm going to shop around for you and blah, 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 blah. Nobody gives a shit about the product. They give a shit about you. And how do you establish yourself as not only an expert, but somebody that truly cares? Is spending enough time in the why, in the emotion of it. Who are you worried about financially when you pass away? Why are you worried about them? Who are they to you? And just like uncovering, and it seems simple, but the amount of people that won't ask those questions to just get a deeper understanding of why they haven't made it a priority for themselves. What are truly their concerns? What do they sleep? What makes them not sleep at night? What's going to tick the emotion and ultimately make it a priority for them before you're going into pricing, before you're going into quotes? Even if we have a person that comes in on a call that has coverage, one of the most common mistakes that agents will make is they go, okay, well, what are you paying? When did you get it? How much coverage did you get? And what company it is? As soon as that happens, well, then automatically now you're in a pricing game, and it's just a logical, you're just doing a logical belief shift, and it's a logical sale, and you're just, shopping on price. That policy, even if you get it, is not going to stick. So what we teach is if they say they have coverage, that's awesome. I'm super glad you have coverage. For us, that's why they got you over to me. I specialize in making sure not only do you have the right amount of coverage, you're in the right product, and ultimately paying the right price. But before we get into that, who is the beneficiary on that policy and why? And like then spending 10, 15, 20 minutes with them, uncovering their financial analysis, everything that we need to do. And then when we get to the quote, say, hey, you mentioned earlier that you had coverage. I'm wondering, what are you paying? Blah, blah, blah. Because now you've established yourself as the sale. You're establishing yourself as the reason why they want to buy from you. Even if they have a great policy, 9 out of 10, they just want to have it with you because you've spent enough time to truly understand them, right? Instead of just being an order taker and a quote taker, really uncover those emotions and show that you give a shit. And we have these 10 telesales commandments in our community. And number 1 is give a shit. And number 10 is redo number 1. And it's a super hard concept, I guess. But like, you get into this business to truly help people. And that's where you should be coming from. Not how quickly can I get to a quote? How quickly can I take many calls and throw some Hail Mary applications? Just take your time. Really take your time. My top guys are top guys that absolutely crush. We have guys that are doing $50,000, $60,000 in a month. If I listen to their calls, they sound the exact same. But the prospect answers are different. Now, there's obviously nuances that they're doing, and they probably don't have to read from a script. They've just now have it so dialed in. Just like you most of your calls are going to sound 90% alike. You're going to maybe ask questions in a different, at a different time and pivot and over and go over that. But ultimately, it's very predictable, and they sound the exact same. And they're taking 25 to 30 minutes just before they even get to a quote, which is a crazy concept for some people. I'll get on a call with an agent. He says, yeah, I'm like, how much time does it typically take you to write an app? I have one person tell me 15 minutes. I'm closing deals in 15 to 20 minutes. And I specifically did not work with them. We said no. And I'm like, our average deal close is 55 to 60 minutes. If you're closing deals in 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to have a great 3 months, and then you're going to have a really bad 3 months. And then chargebacks are coming, right?
I would say that's certainly something to aspire to. Once you get your marketing that dialed into where people already know and love you and they trust you before you're at that point, you've earned the right to have 15-minute sales calls and people still love you after the fact that they're just enamored that Chase McAllister got on the phone with
Yeah.
them, sold it. Like at that's something to aspire to, but that's so far down the road for most of you.
And
Don't
I
even
agree.
hope for
I agree
that.
with you. And you're going to have, the thing is if you spent, and I would counter that, even if you have that kind of marketing and you spend the time, your persistency is going to be insane.
Yeah, if mine dipped below 100, it was because people died and they used the policies. I was like, shit, y'all are fucking my records up over here. It's like, can y'all quit dying, damn it?
But the mass majority of agents too, especially in their first 2 years, they need to have, you need to have that system in place because everybody has bad days. Everybody has off days. Everybody has days where they just fucking, the client's pissing them off. They're like, is this going to be a sale? And they're just like, maybe this is going to work out. And so they start making buying decisions for them and throw away deals. And so you need to have that framework. You need to have that foundation. So then on off days or calls that you get pissed off with the client or you're saying this isn't going to go anywhere, at least you're doing everything you can to shoot a shot. And if you're going down that path, there's going to be times where you probably would have threw away the prospect and thought he's not going to buy it, but you followed the script to get it there, and you actually converted it, right? And so it's there to keep your guardrails. It's like you're going down the highway. Every so often, you're going to try to run off a cliff. We all do. But at least if you have some guardrails there, meaning scripting and a process that you follow every single time, you're more likely to just bang off of them and keep driving. Maybe have a couple dents on your car, but ultimately you keep going.
At least you get there safely in one piece. This is a dude. If you'd be down, let's get like not a Joe Rogan episode, but let's schedule another one of these just to walk through a rigorous sales process from click to close, essentially. If you're down,
I also love
I think this is extremely valuable.
I'd also like to, do maybe a social media because you've done really well, and I want to just praise you because there's a lot of people in this space that pretend to be somebody that they're not, and it's insane. And or they're like, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, they're somebody else, but dang well at home they're a different person. I'm proud to say that if you looked at all my social media and you see me online, I am the same guy that gets home and sits on his couch and gets bitched at by his wife, than the same guy that's here Monday, Friday. My wife's sitting right over there; she's smirking. but I'm the same guy, and you as well. I mean, I officially got to meet you for the first time in 3D, even though we've known each other for a long time, and I do see you as a friend. We finally got to see each other in IRL, and you're the same guy. You're the same guy. It's not like you're putting a mask on for this podcast or putting a mask on content. And one of the things that I've really pushed lately is we actually started like a talent agency for content creators and brand deals and something in side project we've been doing. And, the game is changing a lot. And I'd love to just jump on a podcast with you and talk about how the content game is changing as well. I think that's like something that I'm becoming more and more passionate about and taking off with that.
I agree wholeheartedly. Getting it with influencers, stuff like that. Get someone else who already has trust of their audience to sell you. It's very simple, but people are, who? So I have to jump on another one of these, but this has been really valuable for the agents and agency owners listening who want to learn more about what you do or how to get in touch with you. Tell us where they can go, Chase, and then you and I will schedule another one of these long forms because this is extremely valuable.
Go on Facebook, Chase McAllister. Facebook, send me a DM. I run my profile, so I will definitely answer my own DMs. Go from there. I think that's probably the best place to get a hold of me and learn about our programs and what we can help you with. And ultimately, hey, Damon, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to get you back. So go ahead and like rebook another one, and I'll just drag it out for like 2 hours. That way we have enough time. So we're gonna wrap up here. You guys go comment down below. Say thanks to Chase McAllister for sharing his insights on getting complete strangers to go from click to close, from money from their pocket to yours. And for those of you interested in learning more about Unreal or Chase McAllister, I'll put all of his links down below. You can go click on that. Check out his lead program. It's one of the best out there. And
One thing. One thing I would like to leave with them with, sorry to cut you off, Mason. There's one piece of advice I want to leave you guys with. And
go
it's
ahead.
the easiest fucking thing. It's call your fucking leads.
That's simple. I like it. If you'd like to be a guest on Policy and Profit, we're always looking for successful agents and agency owners who are doing at least 10K a month in commissions, not premiums, don't give a shit, and have unique strategies and stories to tell. You can apply at the link down below in the description. And one more time, if you want to stop getting people on your team that never sell anything and drain your time and want to recruit the right people the first time on autopilot and fill your agency with rock stars, go to writemorepolicies.com/playbook. Until next time, keep building that commission machine. Chase, you crushed it, man. We're gonna let Oscar in here if you guys want to say hi. We'll stop the. Let's see if he.
Is this battle of the marketers right now? Should we just?
Yeah, it is. Look at this dude. Look at this dude.
Fuck you, Oscar.
Wait a second.
Yeah, you gotta follow me, big guy. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough, man. You know.